Welcome back. So, let us continue the discussion on chemical kinetics, and this is where we exactly stopped when talking the collision frequency from the molecular level. This is exactly the expression where we stopped for these things. Now, one can estimate or express mean molecular speed. So, the mean molecular speed in terms of temperature. So, as a function of temperature. So, then we can write ZAB by V is NA by V, NB by V pi sigma AB square 8 kBT divided by pi mu to the power half. That is our 2.14, where now this is where your kinetic theory comes into the picture. So, this Kb is Boltzmann constant. This is Boltzmann constant, and mu is Ma Mb by Ma plus Mb, which is the reduced mass. So, one can think about that way, and T is absolute temperature. So, that you get. Now, this is how you can bring back the temperature as a these things. Now, also you can relate this ZAB by V to the reaction rates, and in that case this would be dA by dt equals to number of collision A and B molecules per unit volume per unit time into probability that a collision leads to reaction into kilomole of A to the number of molecules of A, which is this. So, one can simplify this like minus dA by dt is ZAB by V probability of NAB inverse. So, that is the probability you can get. Now, the probability that a collision will lead to a reaction can also be expressed as a product of two factors. One is as an energy factor, so which is kind of exponential minus EA by RUT, which actually this guy expresses the fraction of collision that occur with an energy above the activation energy. So, this is the factor number 1, and factor number 2, it is geometrical, or someone call it a steric factor P. So, that takes into account the geometry of collision between A and B. So, this is a geometric factor. One is the energy factor, which actually takes into account the fraction of collision that occur with the energy above the activation energy. or second is the geometric factor that is considered. Now, while substitution of Na by V with A N A V and Nb by V as a B N A V into 2.15 B becomes minus d A by dt equals to P N A B sigma square A B 8 pi K B T by mu to the power half into exponential of minus E A by R U T, that is 1 with A into B. So, this is your equation 2.16. So, if you compare 2.16 and 2.9, what you get, this K T equals to P N V, this should be A V, N V sigma A B square 8 pi K B T by mu to the power half exponential E A by R U T. So, by comparing you can find out that reaction coefficient to these things. Now, one may look at this Colliton theory that it is not capable of providing any means to determine E A and P. So, collision theory does not do that. So, that means one needs some more advanced theories to allow calculation of K T from first principle to a limited extent. Now, if the temperature is not that large or the temperature range that is considered or of interest is not too large, then this bimolecular constant can be expressed by the semi empirical Arrhenius form. That means, this K T can be expressed as A into exponential to the power A by R T, where A is the pre-exponential factor or frequency factor. So, different book actually uses different terminology. So, what essentially you get to see the big expression of 2.17 for a particular range of interest, you get to an Arrhenius expression which looks much more simplified in that sense. And this is what pretty much, if you have an idea about combustion or basics of combustion, in a reaction kinetics we talk about all Arrhenius expression, but that comes from this basis. Now, what happens most of the time, these experimental values of the rate coefficients in expressed with another factor taking into consider is the temperature exponent. So, the K is represented completely with an pre-exponential factor, there is a temperature exponent and the activation energy component. So, these are the for a particular reactions. So, the standard method for finding this EA is the experimental rate constant data. When you plot it, so that is the slope which will give you this. Now, you come to, from the bimolar reaction you come to the unimolecular reaction. So, unimolecular reaction, that means A goes to B or A goes to B plus C. For example, one can think about O2 goes to O plus O or H2 goes to H plus H. So, these are your equation number. First order at high pressure, one can find out the reaction rate dA by dt it minus K unimolecular into A. So, that is how you estimate the reaction rate. Now, that is at high pressure, this is at high pressure. Now, that means when you commit that something happening at the high pressure, then there must be something which happens at low pressure also. Now, when you go to low pressure, so the reaction rate also depend on third molecule that may exist with the reaction volume. So, in that case this dA by dt would be minus K A and M. So, this is the third molecule that I am talking about. Now, that is how you can get unimolecular reaction step. Now, the other one is the trimolecular or termolecular reactions. There A plus B plus M goes to C plus M. So, the order of reaction here, order of reaction is third order. So, one can find out the reaction rate minus K trimolecular A, B and M. So, that is how, whether it is a unimolecular, bimolecular or trimolecular, but most of the reactions are usually elementary reactions are bimolecular. Now, you can look at the multi-step mechanism now, multi-step mechanism. So, in the multi-step mechanism you need to find out the net production rates. So, let us consider this example of H2O2 system. So, if you consider this H2O2 system, so you can write H2 plus O2. So, this is KF1, then it will form HO2 plus H, KR1. That means this is R1, reaction 1. So, reaction 1, H2O2 goes to HO2H, this is forward, that is the coefficient is forward coefficient, KR1 is the reverse coefficient. Similarly, H plus O2, F2 form OH plus O, KR2. So, this is your reaction 2. Now, the third one OH plus H2 goes to KF3 and the reverse one will be H2O plus H. So, that is KR3. So, this is R3 and the last one is H plus O2 plus M, which goes KF4 to KR4, which is HO2 plus M goes to R4. So, these are the different multiple step or elementary step that you have, and you get those forward, and every reaction step has forward direction and reverse direction. So, you can find out the forward and reverse these things. Now, the net production rate of any species, let us say X, involved in the sum of all the individual. So, now we are trying to find out the net production rate. So, when you try to find out, let us say X involved is sum of the all individual elementary reaction producing and X minus all the rate destroying. So, essentially when you try to find out the net production rate for X, for example, if you want to find out the net production rate of O, then we have to consider those particular reaction. For example, reaction 2 and it is involved, let us say we instead of taking that we take OH. So, OH is involved in reaction 2, OH is involved here. So, these two reactions should be considered, and if you look at reaction 2, OH is produced here, other case OH is getting destroyed here. So, the combination of that would give you the next production rate for a particular species or element X. So, for example, let us say we want to find out net production rate for O2, then this would be dO2 by dt. So, O2 is involved first reaction, second reaction and the last reaction. First reaction it is Kr1 HO2 H plus Kr2 OH O. So, that is where this is forming, then Kr4 HO2 M, fourth reaction it is forming minus Kf1 H2 O2 minus Kf2 HO2 minus Kf4 HO2 M. So, as we said the net production rate. So, these are the reaction step here, here and here, these are produced, and then in these reactions in the forward direction oxygen is also consumed. So, to find out the net production rate, first we consider the producing part, then subtracted from the reverse part. So, the total production minus destruction or consumption. So, this is your net production rate for any X. So, this should go and it is a sum over all steps. So, like for example, oxygen, that is what we get. Similarly, we can write for H, which is dH by dt would be Kf1 H2 O2 plus Kr2 OH O plus Kf3 OH H2 plus Kr4 HO2 M minus Kr1 HO2 H minus Kr F2 H O2 minus Kr3 H2O H minus Kf4 H O2 M. So, this is how you get it. So, for any particular species, one can write that Fi x1 t, x2 t, xn t and xi at 0 is xi at 0. So, that is how you can generalize for a particular species with. So, now one can sum up those things and put it in a compact notation. So, if your reaction steps or the chemical mechanism involve many elementary steps and many species, a generalized compact notation can be developed for product. So, the mechanism, let us say there are L steps and n number of species which are involved. So, that goes from, this is the forward direction and this is the reverse directions, and this is the stoichiometric coefficient, this is the reverse stoichiometric coefficient. So, this is in a generic form one can write the, so this many of moles they are. So, the example that we have taken, their number of species are 8, O2, H2O, H2O, HO2, OH and this, and number of reaction steps are 4. This is how the L. So, that is the loop it goes over, and if you look at the stoichiometric coefficient matrix, so this is how it looks like, this is the forward stoichiometric coefficient matrix. So, those who are sitting in the, every row is your reaction step, and 1 to 8. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, these are going for species. So, every step which are the species they are sitting there in the forward direction, they will be here 1, rest will be 0. And the similarly in the reverse direction, this will corresponding reaction 1 to reaction 4, and this will species in this direction. So, that is why the matrix is formed. Now, once that is formed, so for a multi-step mechanism, the net production rate for, let us say, this species is omega dot j, which is going over all the reaction step nu j I and q I for j goes 1 to n. So, this is your equation, where nu j I is the difference between your reverse stoichiometric coefficients to the forward stoichiometric coefficients. So, that is how you put them together, and q I is your forward reaction rate minus k r I j equals to 1 to n x j nu j. So, essentially what we are showing through a different example like production rate. So, now this is more in the compact form, and in the compact form you have, so that is for a individual species j, any individual species at j you get the reaction rate, and the reaction rate is a summation over all the reaction step with the nu j I and the q I. Q I contains the, this is your forward direction and the reverse directions. So, that will essentially take care of your production and the destruction of that particular individual species. So, this is how in a general form you can write it. Now, we can see how these generic things actually work. For example, you take q I equals to q 1 for R 1, then q I is k f 1, O 2 1, H 2 1, H 2 O 0 into H O 2 0, O 0, H 0, 0, M 0 minus K R 1, O 2 0 and H 2 0, H 2 O 0, H O 2 1, O 0, H 1, O H 0 and M 0. So, which is K F 1, O2H2 minus KR1 HO2 into H, which is nothing. So, similar expression one can write for I equals to 2, 3 and 4. Since it is a simple H2O2 mechanism and you have only limited number of species like 8, you can actually write all the individual expressions and see how they correlate with the compact notation. Now, the other thing is the finding the rate coefficients and equilibrium constants. So, equilibrium forward and reverse reaction rates must be equal. So, for example, A plus B, which is goes to the forward reaction, this should be same. So, the formation rate of species, for example, formation rate of species A, dA by dt Kf A B plus Kr C plus D. So, for equilibrium, time rate of change of A must be 0. Same is true for, so essentially dA by dt is 0 for equilibrium, and that is true for other also dB by dt 0, dC by dt 0 and d by dt 0. So, to maintain the equilibrium, these things needs to go to 0. So, now equation 2.36 one can get 0 equals to minus Kf A B plus Kr C plus D. So, which is, if you rearrange this would be C into D concentration A into B equals to Kf by Kr T. So, we have already defined the equilibrium constant as Kp equals to, we have already defined it, Pc by P naught to the power C, Pd by P naught to the power D, Pa by P naught to the power A, Pb by P naught to the power B. So, this is your, so how you have defined it. Now molar concentration can be related to the mole fraction, and that we will actually look at it in the next lecture. So, we will stop here today.